We have a viewer question from Skigozy, and he asks, "What are your thoughts, Corey, on dating a single mom at 28 years old?"
Well, the red pill community, you don't date single moms, but you got to take it on a case by case basis because character is destiny. One of the greatest gifts that I had in my life and the things that changed my life and the way I looked at the world and love and family, all those things, was my girlfriend that I wrote about in 3% Man that had the daughter who was like 5.5 when we started dating. Well, she's all grown up now. She's like 20, I think 27, going to turn 28 this summer, and she got two kids now. And, dating her mom when she was little and being a part-time dad, even though we didn't ultimately stay together, I still talk to her mom every once in a while. We might get together and hang out and catch up, which is it's a gift. It's beautiful as you get older to go through life and have those kind of relationships where you can look back and especially your daughter remembers things that sometimes I don't even remember, but they had a huge impact on her, and it's like both of them changed my life. So it was one of the most enriching experiences of my life. Plus, what I loved about dating her was that her family was really tight. All the cousins hung out together. She had three older brothers, and so like even like the weekends, we were always doing family things. It's like it was myself, my girlfriend, her daughter, her cousins, and their kids. So there might be 10 or 12 of us adults, and there might be 8 or 10 kids with us as we would go to Disney or SeaWorld, or we might go to Busch Gardens or whatever. And so we were always doing family things on the weekend, and it was really cool when I was in my early 30s to get to be a part-time dad because it changed my life. It opened my heart completely. And but like I said, it really boils down to character's destiny because there's a lot of women that came from broken homes and somebody slipped one past the goalie or they're on their second divorce or whatever, and they're not loyal, they're not faithful, and yeah, those girls you want to hook up with, but you don't want to get into a relationship with them. So you got to properly vet the girl and find out what her background is. Maybe she was a great wife and married her high school sweetheart, and she'd only been with a couple of boyfriends and got married. And then like I was talking to somebody just recently, and I think it was a woman that wrote in, and she had married like her high school sweetheart or whatever. They had kids, had a family, and he got killed last year in a hit and run. Somebody, he was running the street or he was on his bike or something, and somebody hit him in their car or with their car, killed him, and then just kept going. They never found out who did it, and she's a single mom, and she was a loyal, faithful wife, and so the red pill guys would go, "Oh, you'll never be the priority. The kids are always come first." It's like true if she has low interest in you. If she's head over heels in love with you, women will disown their kids. That's why you see women that work in prisons breaking guys out of prisons that they fall in love with or having affairs with these criminals because the criminals are good at manipulation and pushing their buttons emotionally. It's if you got a good quality woman and she's got good character, good moral, she's loyal, she's faithful. It's like if you keep her head over heels in love with you, it's like she'll be putty in your hands. She'll be very submissive. She'll trust your masculine core, and she will put you and your relationship as a priority over her children because your relationship has to be solid if you're going to be a united front with the kids, because kids are always testing the boundaries and seeing what they can get away with and trying to work a wedge in between mom and dad, and mom says no, then they go to dad says no, they go to mom, and they're very good at manipulating. And if you got a good quality woman and you know how to keep her in love, if you follow what's in my book 3% Man, that won't be an issue for you. So, but like I said, it's character's destiny. If she's belongs to the streets, it's like can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And a lot of the guys in the red pill community, unfortunately, ones that have pretty big audiences, a lot of them are wounded little boys that are they're men, but inside they're a bunch of little wounded little boys, and so they got burned once by a single mom because they did a shitty job of vetting her, or they didn't do any job of vetting her, and then it's like all women suck. And I think I heard somewhere Rollo Tomasi, the guy that wrote The Rational Male, says that young guys should get vasectomies now. I was like, what? What kind of fucking asinine stupidity is that? It's not something that he did. It's like I hear things like that, and it's like that's absurd. I mean, you got to be smart. You don't want to slip one past the goalie, but just deciding, trying to encourage young guys that you should get your tubes tied, and so you don't get anybody pregnant, and it's like that's ridiculous. You don't have to get married to somebody. You can have a civil arrangement. There's nothing wrong with living with your girlfriend, and because if you're gonna have kids, you're trying to find somebody good to co-parent with. You want to create good humans that you be proud of, and it's like my experience with dating women that had children was incredibly enriching, and it's nice all these decades later to have that once little girl that used to look up to you and think you were one of the most awesome dudes on the planet, that there are things I said, things I did, an example that I set that had a good positive impact or gave her really great memories from her childhood. Whereas if I hadn't ever dated her mom, she would have missed out on a lot of things. And it's an honor to do that and to be a part of that. So it's, like I said, take it on a case by case basis. Don't listen to the douchebags in the red pill community. It's like, you shouldn't take any advice from guys that are fucking douchebags that you probably wouldn't hang out with yourself, especially when they're spouting all kinds of silly bullshit, which there's a lot of it.
I just think single moms also deserve just as much love as anyone, really. And it's like Corey said, you don't know what they went through. Maybe, granted, maybe the mom, maybe she herself was toxic, but there's also a lot of moms that went through circumstance. There's like single moms out there that have also gone through abuse as well. So
True.
maybe like the husband they were with, they had a kid with that husband, but the guy is a raging alcoholic. So maybe she got out of that relationship. There's a scenario where she got out of that relationship because she doesn't want her kids to grow up with that. And so she's willing to put herself out there and find someone that would be a better father figure for her kids. But I just think, just like you said, like the red pill community, they're very immature when it comes to that stuff. Like sometimes it's not even their fault. Or maybe they did want to have a child, but they shouldn't punish a single mom just because she has a kid. Like being able to raise life is a really rewarding thing, especially for a lot of moms that I know. I mean, I don't see myself ever having kids, but from what I've seen, a lot of moms love what they do. They love raising their kids.
Yeah, you want to find a good woman that you want to be the mother of your children, and your goal should be to co-parent and raise great humans that you would be proud of. That should be the goal. That should be your mission in life, and find somebody that's good to do that with. You don't have to get married. You don't, especially if you live in a blue state. It's like I would not recommend it, but people still want to do that, and it's like that's fine on them. But like I said, you gotta vet the women in your life properly. It's